Jesus is before Pilate. Pilate asked Jesus, "So you are a king?" Jesus answered, "You say that I am a king. For this I was born, and for this I came into the world, to testify to the truth. Everyone who belongs to the truth listens to my voice." Pilate asked Jesus, "What is truth?" I want to start a sermon and talk a little bit about bank service charges. You know, in the olden days, we were charged a fee by the bank for having an account. At some point, that mostly changed, where it's pretty easy to avoid bank service fees. And in a sense, you could say banking is almost free. I mean, if you take care of your business, you know, if you go to ATM machines that are aligned with your bank, and if you keep certain balances, you really don't pay fees to the bank. And you may wonder, how does the bank make money? Actually, most people don't care about that. Most people care about, I don't have to pay. Now, if you follow and keep tabs on your bank account, maybe once in a while a fee does show up. And I think the natural response is similar to, for example, if you get a parking ticket in the mail. In Chicago, they introduced these red light cameras a few years ago, and people went ballistic. Speeding cameras as well. So essentially, they just post a camera on a lamppost, and in the hour of the day, if somebody violates, they take a picture, and then they send you a citation in the mail. So there's no sense that you violated the law, and then you get a ticket in the mail and says, you owe us $100, or whatever it is. And most people, when they receive these, and I was no exception, feel angry. That's the first response. Something is being done to me. And if you're used to not paying bank service fees, and you see there's a service fee of $12 or $30, you may feel that also. What is the truth? Are you being victimized for receiving a citation in the mail, or for being charged a service fee? See, this is where emotion is the biggest enemy to the truth. Because as soon as those feelings get stirred up, we have a hard time hearing the truth. Unless the truth falls in line with what our emotions are telling us. At which point, there's some form of relief. But when it's being victimized and we're angry, and we discover that, yes, in fact, we're being treated poorly, we want revenge. We want somebody to pay. So all of this is what we call worldly consciousness. It's what's essentially encouraged. What's really interesting is our emotional response stems from a truth that lives within us, which may not actually be a truth. In other words, many people believe that they are being victimized much of the time. Really what I want to teach about is the truth of creation, because that's what our theme has been for spring. It's a fresh start. Last week is, how do you use your word? Wednesday we said, do you want to become a magician? Do you want to transmute energy into experiences and matter that is desirable to you? Well, you're going to have to learn the truth of the system. In other words, there is some system in place that allows us as human beings to be a mediator between the spiritual or the energetic and the physical, the world of matter. We know one of the major tools is our word. But there are other aspects. Emotions can be a very big deterrent, because emotions are tied to ideas of truth that at some point may have been truthful or may have reflected our experience, but really are not absolute truths. In other words, we are not chronically being victimized by the banking system. You have to do an inventory, and this is when we seek to change beliefs. We seek to do an inventory of the beliefs that we have decided are true, and now we take a fresh look. And we go, are these actually true across the board? Or are they true in certain circumstances? Or are they never true? This is work. It's a lot of work. And you'll see to what degree you love work when you take on something that involves a certain amount of effort and time. And if you are not able to complete certain work projects, then do you look around and go, I'm being victimized by these requirements and these responsibilities, and I can't get the materials, and I don't have the money, and I don't have the ability, and somebody is limiting me? No. Do not accept that. That is not true. What may be true is that you've never been taught how. You've never been encouraged to. Because what will happen when the truth is revealed is that everybody's truth will become evident in the light of Christ. And that is very uncomfortable. It's probably uncomfortable inside of ourselves. And we want it. Imagine if you become a beacon of light and the people around you have not said that they want it. Now you understand why Jesus said, blessed are those who are persecuted. Because that persecution is an indication that you are bringing the light of Christ in certain circumstances. Because that persecution is a trigger by their emotions to the truths that you are making evident, simply by being a beacon of light. Now, that light is going to accelerate the progress of the athlete, of the performer, of the banking system, of the healthcare system, of the food system. Yes, but the people want immediate emotional gratification. So, no, we're not going to do the truth. We're going to do what sells. We're going to do what works. If all of a sudden everyone, no, the truth. What is it that makes us healthy? What is it that makes us prosperous? What is it that reveals the truth of the justice system and the pharmaceutical industry and the banking system and all of that? Are we ready as a people to deal with the persecutions that will result? Well, we are. I'm just going to put my word on it. We are ready for that. Because those persecutions are going to be temporary. So if part of you starts to persecute another part of you because you're going to bring the truth to light no matter what, then just you accept that. That is a temporary state of resistance within. But getting back to how do we learn and experience the truth of the system of creation? Experience. You commit to the process. Because what works for me may have some tangential application for you, but the beauty of it, how you create and how I create, may be different. Some of the fundamentals seem to apply across the board. Number one is you must have clear intention. And if your intention is aligned with love, you could say that your intention is God's will. Keep it simple. Don't be looking outside for some mysterious plan that was ordained in heaven and one day it's going to be revealed to you, because I guarantee you, you will not like that. Because it takes away the freedom that you have to create what it is that you want, which is a beautiful thing. But there's an element to that version of truth which relieves people of responsibility. Because a lot of people, once you get past a certain age, you might go, I don't really know what I want anymore. And whatever dreams that you have, whatever things that you really, really want, when you begin to manifest them, you go, they don't solve all my problems, but they enhance my life. And many people are so caught up in family and kids and job and whatnot and finances that they've lost touch with what is it that they want. They're just kind of going through the motions of their lives. And so that leads to a certain type of manifestation. When you are not making conscious and deliberate intention, then to a certain degree your creation is going to be, it's like you're carried down the river wherever it's going. And I don't particularly like that model, because What is the world telling you where it's going? Not in a good place. That's the message of the world. Things are not going in a good place. And even if they go, this is going okay, but we see all these red flags. That's very much what I hear almost every NPR thing that I turn. I can't even turn it on really hardly anymore. But it's always, the tone of it is always doomsday. And this is supposed to be probably one of the most objective radio stations. And I don't find it objective at all. I find that they're selling worry. They're selling the fact that things are never really going to get better. So you've got to get out of that worldly consciousness. You've got to reject it. And people may reject you as a result of it. One of the cool tools to the truth is that you begin to feel the movement of spirit. In order for you to be receptive to the nudge, you don't always know, I don't always know why I do or I don't do things, but I can feel when the spirit is moving me or when the spirit is not. And I like to move with the spirit, because the spirit to me is the vehicle of truth. You still have to, I still have to decide to act upon that. And that's where you experience God's love, because God's love is not, this is the spirit, you must do it. Because I guarantee you, 95% of people are like, oh no, I won't. I mean, that's the culture. People will not be told what to do. The people who do become very self-righteous about, that's God's will, you should do it. How about we go, this really works, and then let people decide if they want to do it. Some of them go, maybe, for you. You go, great. Yes, for me. Or they go, well, how do you know? And then you can speak experientially about how it's worked out. Or they go, I want to learn more about it. Or in our case, I want to become a master of it. So I would like to encourage you as this season continues to unfold. And it really is the perfect season, because the spring season is so much about new creation. And you'll see it if you have plants, and you'll see it if you have animals, and you'll see it if you have children. This energy that comes alive. Study the heck out of what leads to the creation that fits your intention. Is your intention clear? Have you expressed your intention in prayer? In other words, have you elicited the help of the universe / God? I really believe and teach that there are beings that are trying to help you manifest your intention, but they are not going to go against your free will. So if your intention is, I really want this, I think, they're going to go, well, we better wait until the person is certain. And if the person goes, I really want this, and then they mutter, I can't, this is never going to happen, they're like, we don't know what to do. It's hard for the universe to support a mixed message. Clear all that away. Let's say you emotionally become a balanced individual. You use your meditation to clear away the emotion that gets in the way of the truth, which is so critical. That's why I teach that in the level 1 meditation. You must become a master, not of how you feel, but how you process what you feel. You must become a master of that, and that's very difficult depending on the kind of environment you grew up in. Most of us grew up in very critical environments. So we're used to being bombarded with criticism and how that makes us feel. And we become loyal to recreating situations that continue to bring that about. Okay, how do we stop that? Well, first of all, we stop being loyal to that whole pattern. We reject father and mother on that level. When you become emotionally masterful, that doesn't mean you don't feel bad. It means that when you feel bad, you still can discern the truth and you can process those things and pull yourself out of it faster. You're not supposed to be there because I said it. You're supposed to be working on it, if you want that. And when you become neutral, you're so much more receptive to the Spirit. The Spirit is waiting for your intention to be clear, to, like the wind at your back, push you in the direction of where you need to go. You need to become very receptive to that and do it in a state of faith. Maybe you don't know if it's going to work out or not. Especially in the case of myself, who's in Aries, I like to take action. I like to spontaneously move on things. But I have grown to realize that sometimes that spontaneity is just out of feeling of wanting to be done. But the Spirit is going, it's not time yet. I go, yeah, but I don't like being in the state of limbo. But now I don't mind it. I just go, I don't know why I haven't done that yet. Because normally my tendency is to do it. But I don't feel moved yet. It's not clear what I should do. And I don't want to just knock it out because then I'll feel like I've got it done. Because I want to move in accord with the Spirit. I want to see creation at this level of the magician. So you have to become very receptive to the Spirit, which is a very subtle movement of energy. And if a mind is too attached to how it likes to think, it will reject the Spirit. So you have to condition your mind to be porous and fluent and relaxed. And the last piece is you have to be perseverant. You have to be committed to whatever it is that you want to do. And a lot of times you have to do things repetitively in order to create that groove and that momentum.